Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I've got a little bit of a grocery haul for y'all. You seem to like those, so I thought we have to do a little shopping, so we take you along with us. I usually try to just shop loss leaders at several different stores that I prefer and that I like. I've been watching the ads the last couple of weeks on the 3 stores that I like to use the most, and there have not been any terrific sales. So today we are at good old Walmart. So I'm going to bring you along and I'll show you what we got, and then I'm going to go ahead and sit down and we're going to show you what we make with that over a week's time. So come along, let's go into Walmart and see what we can find today.
So what, 50 cents a pound?
Okay everyone, we are back from our grocery trip, and I have a budget this year of about $300 a month for groceries for us, for our family. Usually, if you guys have followed along at all with the homesteading side of our channel, you will see that we grow some of our own meat. So I don't always need to buy the meat. And so when the meats are on sale, I will pick those up. This week, of course, like I mentioned before, there wasn't any good meat sales. I want to cook for you guys out of what this budget grocery haul was. And so I went ahead and included some meat, so that upped my total a little bit. But I thought I'd go over and kind of show you what we got. The other thing I quick want to mention for you guys is how important it is to have a working pantry. Some of the things I already have on hand that are not in this haul are oils, fats, coffee, and spices. So we'll be working out of the pantry for some of those items. And then we have our own chickens, so we have our own eggs. And oh my goodness, guys, there weren't really any eggs at the store today. And the eggs that were there, the cost of them, I could not believe. I haven't seen eggs this high of cost for a long while. So I really feel for you guys that are buying your own eggs. But I am including the price of the eggs in this haul. So at $300 a month, and this is 2 adults and 1 teenager, basically 3 adults. $75 a week is kind of what I am budgeting in for food. And this total haul with adding in the price of the eggs was $75.25. So far we're right on track. So we'll go over everything in the haul, and I'll go over prices with you, and then we'll get into the recipes for the week. So y'all like the prices, so I'm going to give you the prices. The first thing we got was our coffee creamer. This was $2.78. We got half and half. This was $2.97. The milk, y'all, again, I cannot believe the cost of milk. It is $4.18 for this gallon at Walmart. So that was crazy to me. We got some English muffins down here to make some breakfast sandwiches and other things with. $1.48. That was a pretty good price on those. Some frozen veggies. The broccoli florets were $1.16. The mixed vegetables were 98 cents. The stir-fry kit was a little spendy, but it was only about 70 cents more than the frozen one, and we'll like this better. This was $3.28. Medium cheddar cheese was $4.22. This bottle of Alfredo sauce, I have a recipe I'm going to use this in, is $1.82, so that wasn't too bad. Breakfast items, without being able to just do a lot of eggs, guys, I went ahead and bought a complete pancake mix because it only calls for water. So as a way to keep the cost down, this was $1.98, and then the syrup with it was $2.36. We'll do some baking this week to keep the cost down. I didn't buy bread, so we'll be making our own bread. I like the organic. Just a quick note on the flour. The organic, they don't use Roundup in, so that's why I buy organic. But it was $5.47 for the flour. The yeast to make the bread was $1.14. The long grain rice was 92 cents. The wide egg noodles, let me move this around, was $1.48. The muffin mix was $1.24. Because chocolate chips is another one, guys. It's crazy. So I might use this in place of chocolate chips for a snack or something. The potatoes. You saw our Craven video. If you didn't see our Craven video or our Mom and Pop store video, we just paid $3.99 about 2-3 weeks ago for 10 pounds. This is $5.12. So significantly more at Walmart, guys. The bananas, 50 cents a pound. We have $1.02 for them. The whole carrots for a pound were 98 cents. I needed some more onions. They were $2.67 for the onions. Then we get back here. This is going to be our protein besides the eggs. And it's the cheapest protein I could find, guys. So the pork loin, it's almost 4.5 pounds of it, and it was $1.84 a pound. And the chicken breasts were $2.67 a pound, and I have almost 5 pounds of that. So I basically have 9.5 pounds of meat to go for 7 nights. We should be able to do that. The eggs, guys, I'll have Kevin pan up to me. The eggs were ridiculous. For an 18-count egg, it was $6.72, and that's Walmart eggs. That's not, organic or free range or anything fancy. That's the plain old Walmart 18-count eggs were $6.72. So I don't know, guys. I didn't feel like this was that much food. I know I can make a week's worth of food with it, and I'm going to show you how I do it. But wow, let me know what your prices are like. This is what I was trying to do, real foods as much as I possibly could to cook healthy for my family, and I was trying to, just do the best I could. And we did come in on budget at $75, but it didn't feel like I got a lot for that $75. So please let me know in the comments what you think about the haul in general, and then I'm going to take you along, and we're going to get ready to start supper, and I'm going to show you what we're going to do tonight. Okay, guys, we're going to start with our first meal, which is supper tonight with the stuff we bought at our grocery haul. I've got 2 chicken breasts. I'm going to add an onion to our teriyaki vegetable pack. It has the teriyaki sauce in it. And then I have half a bag of the white rice we bought that I have rinsed. So we're going to go ahead first, and we're going to start with getting our rice going. So, guys, I'm going to start by putting my rice in here. And then double the amount of water. We're going to add that in. We're going to add a little bit of avocado oil into it. Maybe, if I can get the lid open. There we go. Just a splash of avocado oil. And about a teaspoon, about a teaspoon or so of salt. And we're going to get this boiling. That's what we're going to start with. So this veggie and sauce pack, it does say it has 6 different types of veggies. Onion is not one of them. It also says that it serves 3 people. I'm going to bulk up our veggies with an onion. So I'm going to get that sliced up to add in, just to give us a little more nutrition and a little more food. For a great way to frugally add a little more food into our meal tonight, I guess is a good way to put it. So I've got 2 nice sized breasts. I'm going to go ahead and take all the ick off of these breasts, and then I'm going to slice them up and we'll get ready to start sauteing them. So let's go ahead and get all that done. This ought to work, so we're going to go ahead and get this in a skillet with a little oil and get it cooking up, and we'll move on from there. So I'm going to add a couple tablespoons of oil into this pan. We'll let it get warm, and we'll be frying up our chicken. So I'm hoping this pan is hot enough. We're going to go ahead and add our chicken in. Oh yeah, that sizzles good. That's what we want. Try not to touch the hot pan. So this chicken's looking pretty good. I've got a little bit of adobo seasoning, so I'm going to just add a little more flavor since we added in the chicken and the onion, so this will flavor it up a bit. So I'm going to go ahead and take the chicken out, add a little more oil, and then we're going to go ahead and add the veggies in. Okay, we're starting with the onions. They're going to take a little longer than the rest of the veggies, so we'll give these a few minutes by themselves, then add the rest of the veggies, and add the chicken back in, and we'll be eating. Okay guys, we're going to go ahead and add the vegetables in with the onions here. And we'll let them start to cook down. Okay, we'll let her sit for a minute. We'll stir her up again. I'm going to go ahead and add the chicken back into the veggies here. We'll get it all nice and warm. Then we'll add our sauce in and we'll be eating. So I'm going to go ahead and add in the teriyaki sauce packet and get it all stirred in. This smells good, guys. I think this is going to be a really tasty meal. So here's what it looks like, guys. It's really colorful, and I'm going to go ahead and give it a go and see what it tastes like. Oh, it's hot. That's really good, guys. I could recommend this. We'll see you in the morning. Good morning, everyone. And today we're going to start our breakfast with just something easy. To keep us in budget, I had to go with a good old-fashioned pancake mix. The bananas that we bought were, they are ripe right now. So we're going to go ahead today and make up some peanut butter banana waffles. Okay, so there's just 3 of us. So I'm going to tone down the recipe a little bit. I'm going to use 1.5 cups of the mix. Super easy, guys. We typically eat just 2 meals a day. When you're short on funds, especially with eggs, what they are, because we're making waffles, we are going to be using 1 egg in this recipe, but this is 3/4 cup of water. I'm going to use 1 egg. We have a couple of our hens that are just starting to lay, so it's a smaller egg, and I'm all right with that. And then it calls for 2 tablespoons of any type of oil. I typically don't like a lot of the vegetable or canola oils, so I'm going to use 2 tablespoons of butter. And we're just going to get this mixed up. I've plugged in my waffle iron and it's heating up. Once it comes up to temperature, we'll make us up some waffles, and that'll be some breakfast for us. Okay, so our waffle iron is ready to go. I'm just going to put a little oil on it, and we'll put our first bit of batter inside of it. Gotta wait about 2 minutes and we'll have our first waffle done, guys. Okay, y'all, super simple breakfast. We did not buy peanut butter in the haul, but peanut butter for us is a pantry staple. So it's a reason why I really want y'all to start bulking up your pantries. When you see peanut butter go on sale somewhere, go ahead and pick it up. You don't have to use peanut butter in this. You could just do the bananas. You could do butter and bananas. But this is with the peanut butter, the bananas, the waffles, and the syrup that we bought. So I'm going to go ahead and usually, like I said, I make these from scratch, but when times are hard, box mix works in a jiffy. So let's see if it tastes any good. It's actually pretty good, guys. Go ahead and give her a try.
Go ahead.
Well, welcome back. We're on to meal number 3, our second dinner, and we're going to take some of that pork we bought and we're going to make pork like schnitzel, where we're going to pound it out thin, bread it with the flour we bought, and fry it. We're going to do mashed potatoes with the potatoes and the milk that we bought, and make some gravy as well with the milk we bought, and then do carrots on the side. So I'm going to start with the carrots because they take the longest. So I'm going to go ahead and get the potatoes peeled, cut up a little bit, and put in the pot to start boiling because they take a little bit of time as well. And then we'll move on to the gravy, guys. It's going to come together real quick. Okay, next thing we're going to do is make our gravy. Y'all, if you don't know how to make a basic gravy, usually use about 2 tablespoons of butter. I am using bacon grease. Y'all save your bacon grease. It makes for real tasty gravy. So that's what we're going to be doing. So first thing I'm going to do is get this melting in this pot, and then I'll show you where we go from there. So I've gotten here the bacon grease. You can see the bits of bacon. It's going to make it taste so good. The next thing we're going to do is add about 3 tablespoons, which I have in here, of our flour that we bought. I'm going to turn this down just a little bit. And we're going to make a roux, guys. We've got to have all of this flour soaked up by that grease. Okay, that looks pretty good, y'all. So we're going to add in 2 cups of that milk that we bought. We're just going to stir this. We got to stir it constantly until it starts to thicken. So our gravy is pretty good and thick. Now we're going to add some seasoning. I've got a 1/2 teaspoon of pepper. I'm going to do a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. And if you guys have it, I'm going to add in a whole teaspoon of chicken bouillon. This is not necessary. You can just season to taste with salt and pepper. But if you have it, use it. So this is that pork that we bought, the pork loin. I've got them cut into small pieces and trimmed them of most of their fat. That's for this little piece right there. And what I'm going to do now is pound them flat, and then we'll season them and bread them and get them fried up. Put this one over here. It's kind of going to be like a schnitzel, guys, but we're going to add gravy to ours. It'll be yummy. So we just seasoned these pork cutlets after we pounded them out with just some salt, pepper, and garlic mixture we have, and then we'll go ahead and move on to the next step. So we've drained our potatoes. They were all ready to go. I'm going to add in a little bit of milk at a time. We're going to add in a little bit of pepper and a little bit of salt and a little bit of garlic powder. So just add to your taste and seasoning, guys, of how you like it. Oops, wrong side. And then just a little sprinkle of salt. We'll get these blended up. Okay, y'all, I've got a hot skillet here. Into that hot skillet, I put some oil. Your choice of oil, whatever you have in your pantry, will work. From coconut oil, avocado oil, to, this is tallow that I made. You can also use shortening vegetable oil or canola oil in a pinch. So that's pretty good and hot. We're going to start breading and frying up our pork cutlet. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go into the flour, then into our milk, then back into the flour, and then we're going to put it in our hot pan and get it going. And we'll go to the next one and do the same thing. Easy as that, guys. So this is what it looks like, guys. Andrew did not want the gravy on his pork, but you could easily have the gravy travel over to the pork, and it's going to be oh so good. So today I'm starting by making some hash browns with some of the potatoes we bought. So I'm going to go ahead and use my food processor to get them shredded, and then we're going to get them soaking while I do a few other things around the kitchen this morning. Okay everyone, so today what we're going to start with is we're going to do some English muffin breakfast sandwiches as well as homemade hash browns with that 10-pound bags of potatoes. We've already shredded the hash browns. We're going to get them frying, and we're going to make up our egg and cheese breakfast sandwiches. So I've got some oil in the pan. Again, whatever oil you have that's convenient for you. So we're going to go ahead and add in our hash browns and get them frying up. Well, that made a good amount. Let's got that piece there. So the next thing I'm going to do while the hash browns are cooking, I have beat up my eggs, getting them ready to put in and get them cooked. But I'm going to start toasting my English muffins. So scramble up a couple of our eggs with some milk in it. I found this is an easy way to do breakfast sandwiches because we'll just cut them in 3 pieces and then put them on the English muffins, and it works real well. I'm going to go ahead and take our pieces of egg and put them on our English muffin here. I'm going to have an extra piece of egg, probably give that to Andrew because he's growing. And then I'm going to take the cheese I have here, and we're going to go ahead and get this on, and I'm going to put this on the oven on the broiler for a few minutes to get everything melted. And we will have our breakfast. So this is what the next breakfast looks like. We have our homemade hash browns, our breakfast sandwiches, and Drew and I are splitting a banana on the side. So tonight I'm making a meal that has shredded chicken in it. We're gonna do shredded chicken, broccoli and rice casserole. So I've got 2 chicken breasts in here, some adobo seasoning, and some water. I did put a fairly good amount of water because I want a little bit of broth if possible from this to add into our sauce we're going to put in the recipe. So I'm going to turn this on high and let it cook, and we'll come back when it's time to finish it up. So to go with supper tonight, we're going to make Texas Roadhouse copycat rolls. It's very easy. You just need a little bit of time for rising, and really using 2 ingredients that should be pantry staples. I'm hoping y'all have it, and that is some granulated sugar and a little bit of butter. Everything else, the milk, the flour, the yeast, we bought in our haul. So we're going to start by adding 1 1/4 cup of milk warmed to about 100 degrees, a 1/3 cup of granulated sugar, and 1 packet of active yeast. And then this has to bloom for about 5 minutes. So it's been about 5 minutes. I'm going to add the rest of our ingredients. We're going to add 1 of our eggs, a 1/4 cup or half of a cube of butter, 1 teaspoon of salt, and then we're going to start by adding 2 cups of the flour that we purchased. We'll be adding more to this. It'll probably end up being about 3 cups. So it took about 3 1/2 cups of flour to make this dough. What I'm going to do is I've got a little oil in the bottom, so I'm going to put it there, flip it, and then I'm going to put a wet, warm rag over this. It's going to rise for about 45 to 60 minutes. So our dough has risen, so I'm going to go ahead and punch it down a little bit. We're going to roll it out, and then I'm going to cut it into rectangles like you see at Texas Roadhouse. And then we're going to put it on a cookie sheet lined with parchment paper hold on guys, let me show you a trick. Your sheet is sliding around, so put it on a towel. So we're going to go ahead and roll it out. And then we're going to cut it into rectangular squares and put it back on a cookie sheet to rise for another hour, and then we'll bake for 20 minutes at 350. Okay, we've got supper going, guys. I had put those 2 large breasts in the crock pot. I've got 1 I'm leaving to shred for another meal I'm going to do. I've shredded the chicken for tonight's meal. I took out a cup of the broth. I'm going to make the sauce for the casserole. I got 1 cup of our milk that we bought, and then 1 cup of the broth from over there. I do have 2 tablespoons of butter. You can use any oil that I'm getting melted down. And I'm going to go ahead and just make a cream sauce to put in the recipe. I have some, if I can get the foam to go down, I have some rice cooking over here, and the rolls are in the oven. Our butter was up to temperature, so I added in, it was 2 tablespoons of butter to 3 tablespoons of flour, and we'll let this all get incorporated in, and then we'll add in the milk and broth mixture. So in our pot here, this is the pot we cooked the rice in. We have the rice on the bottom, some broccoli, the shredded chicken. I'm gonna add in the sauce that we made, cream sauce. Stir it all together, and then we will add in the cheese and get it in the casserole container. Now we're going to pop it in the oven 350 for about 20 minutes. Okay, so this is how it looks, guys. We've got the delicious rolls, and we got the casserole here. I did end up cooking the casserole for about 30 minutes total to get the broccoli all the way done, so we'll go ahead and dish up. It looks amazing in there, guys, and we're gonna eat it up. We'll see ya tomorrow morning for breakfast. Well, good morning, everyone. We're back again in the kitchen for some breakfast with our grocery haul. We're just gonna do straight up pancakes, which is just the mix some water, fry a couple of eggs, and call it good for the morning. Breakfast this morning's done, guys. Quick and easy. So tonight we're going to use some of that shredded chicken from the other night, and we're going to make just a chicken noodle casserole. Andrew doesn't care for tuna, so we're going to do chicken. We're going to add in about half a package of our egg noodles and let them boil. Okay, from this point on, while our noodles are cooking, you have a couple options. You can make that white sauce gravy with the butter and the flour and the milk and the seasonings, and maybe put a little of chicken bouillon in it, and that works great. We actually were out today and we are kind of in a hurry, so I'm going to cheat tonight with this recipe. I know I didn't get this in the haul, but it is a pantry staple of ours. I'm going to use cream of mushroom soup. So I'm going to take, first of all, and just put the cream of mushroom soup in, just like that. I've got a cup of milk I'm going to add in. I'm going to add some seasonings into this. The good old standbys of the granulated garlic, some pepper, and some onion powder. Then I'm going to grate some cheese in this. And this is going to be what we mix the noodles, the vegetables, and the chicken in with. And it's all going to bake together and be delicious. Okay, so I added into that mixture that we did with the cream of mushroom soup, I added our vegetables, some cheese, and our chicken. I'm just gonna mix it all up, and then I'll add the noodles in, and I got a little bit more cheese to top it with, and we will bake it until it is nice and hot. So I've added our noodles. I'm just gonna mix them into everything, and then we will put it in the bowl and add the cheese, and we'll be all set to go. This comes together super quick, so if you have a busy night, this is a perfect one for those busy nights, guys, especially if your chicken's done ahead. We'll just put this on top and get it baking. Hello everyone, we're back again in the kitchen today, and we just redid the pancakes this morning. So the next several days are redos of the pancakes, the waffles, and the breakfast sandwiches. And that will round out our week for breakfast. Can get boring when you're on a budget, but at least you have 3 options, so that's kind of nice this week. So that's what we did for this morning for breakfast. So now we're on to supper. So for supper today, I am just going to make homemade chicken nuggets with the last of the chicken breast, and then homemade French fries. And that's what we're working on now with those French fries from the potatoes. So what I've done already is I've peeled and I've sliced the potatoes and I soaked them in water for a while to remove some of the starch. And now I'm going to drizzle a little bit of avocado oil, because avocado oil is a has a high cooking point, high flame point, nor the oven's ready in the background. Since we're going to fry the chicken nuggets, we're going to bake the French fries. So I'm going to go ahead, and I've got 2 separate cookie sheets so that we can make sure we get enough room between the French fries. We're just gonna get these on and in the oven baking, and we'll start with the chicken. Okay, so I cubed up all the chicken, and we're gonna bread it just like we did the pork cutlets the other night, and then we're gonna fry it up. So flour, milk, and then flour, and then into the pan. So y'all, here is your homemade chicken nuggets and homemade french fries. You could cut a carrot up. We have some of those left and put it on the side if you so choose, but we're just rolling with chicken nuggets and fries tonight. See you tomorrow on the next one. Hi everyone. So tonight we are gonna go ahead and we're gonna use up some more of our pork, some more of our egg noodles, and we're gonna use up the jar of Alfredo sauce we bought along with the rest of our carrots. So I'm just gonna cut up the pork into pieces and we're gonna fry it up, just braise it, and then we're gonna add the Alfredo sauce into it. So that's what we're doing right now. So I've got a little oil, whatever kind you want in your pan, and we're just gonna brown these pieces of pork up, and then we'll add our sauce in and do our noodles. We've got our carrots in the background cooking, and we'll be having supper. So I turned it down to low. We've got everything nice and browned up, and I'm gonna add in our sauce, and we'll get it stirred in. So next I'm gonna cook up the noodles, and we'll be eating. And there we go, another dinner in the books. Hello everyone, we are back on our final night, our night number 7 for our meals with our $75 budget. So this we're gonna do tonight is we're gonna make some pork fried rice. I will be pulling a few more pantry staples from this, but we love this, and when we got this pork, it's what I wanna make. So it's what we're gonna make tonight. So we're gonna show you how we do it. First, we're gonna start by thin chopping the rest of that pork sirloin roast. So this is what our pork looks like. Kevin diced it up pretty fine. We're going to go ahead and we're going to cook it up in sesame oil, avocado oil, and a little bit of chili oil. So we're going to go ahead and add the rice and get it broken up into it, and then we'll add the vegetables in as well. And then add our seasonings in and our eggs. So we've added in our mixed veggies that we bought in our haul, and we're just going to season it up and add the egg in, and we'll be all set. So we added the egg in the middle now, and we're just going to get it all scrambled up, and we'll be eating. And there's a whole plate full of good eating, guys. So hopefully you enjoy this. And we're gonna go eat. So I wanted to thank everyone for coming along with me on this grocery haul and meal plan. This is just to give you an idea of some options for you. We really try to eat whole foods here, and I tried my best to do that. I did have to break a little bit with the pancake mix, the syrup, and the muffin mix. But past that, a lot of whole foods, and we had meat every supper. We had meat, so that I thought was a good thing. It wasn't all just beans and rice or vegetarian fare. We had meat every night, so maybe this will give you an idea. I did want to show you what we had left that will go into the pantry for the next week. So we had most of the bag, well, not most, maybe half the bag of the flour left. I ended up having 2.5 carrots left, about 1/3 of the gallon of milk left, 2 of the packets of the active yeast, a large portion of the syrup. We aren't used to this type of syrup. We don't have a lot of sugar, so a large portion of the syrup was left, half a package of the frozen broccoli, and then I did not end up using the muffin mix. So all of these items can go in and will go into the rotation in the next couple of weeks. So for those of you that are trying to stay on budget, that are trying to live within your means food-wise, I really hope this helps. Please leave in the comments other ideas y'all have used and been successful with. Anything else you'd like to see as far as budgets go or grocery hauls go or meal plans go? Would you like to see me do some more that have more vegetables or plant-based meals, or what would you like? So go ahead and leave that in your comments. Thank you very much for your time and for watching, and I hope you have a blessed day, and we'll catch you on the next one.